What up? What up? What up? This is Mike, the philosopher, along with Tamara. What's going on?
Hello, hello, hello. How you?
All right, all right. Now, this is an interesting. Now, let me say this. Last week we missed last week because I was in the middle. I was on vacation, and I was also moving. And I know none of you care. So, but anyway, I thought I'd mention that. So we're gonna go and take it off from the last episode and rank that episode because that one was pretty juicy by itself. So, with that being said, I'm a gentleman first. I'm gonna let Tamara go. And what do you think of the guys?
So I'm finally gonna get these rankings right by the ninth episode. I'll start with my top. Clifton is still at the top. He has been at the top since day one. Ain't never, even when my baby Laverne was around, I still felt like Clifton's a nice middle ground. Not a nice middle ground, but just fires on all cylinders.
Right.
Clifton and Joy were funny to me this episode. I enjoyed it a lot because there was a comment that she made. There was like, and I wrote it down. There's nothing that I physically need to do to solidify her connection with Clifton. And I picked up on physically because
I did too.
That was code for we done already done it.
Like, exactly. That's what I was thinking.
That's why I'm sleeping in the bed. That's why we got onesies. We're past y'all. Like the show has done its part. It introduced us. We have taken care of the rest. So I
noticed that. That's interesting. You picked up on the same thing. Yeah.
Also picked up on something Clifton said. He was playing the I don't know whose bag that is. Let me go see.
Right.
I know whose bag that is. I know the smell of it. I picked up on that. I said, y'all killing me. These are good, right? So to me, Dakia, baby, I know you milking this, you feel bad, but in my opinion, you didn't need to ask no more questions. You know the smell of it? Come on, man.
Right.
That says, I know what the house smell like. I know what the hugs smell like. I know what the clothes smell like. The sheets smell like. All the other things smell like. I know the smell of it. So.
Oh, there's a picture. There's a picture of them too. I think it's from Cliff's Instagram or whatever. And they're in the bed in that cabin or whatever it is, right? He has his head on the headboard, and you don't see Joy's head anymore. Her head is under the covers, around a certain spot. Let's just put it.
Okay. I'm not mad at that. Hey, if y'all feeling each other, y'all are adults.
If I could find it, I'll put it in this video here.
Yeah. Make sure I see that. So I, like I said, I enjoyed every juicy minute of that and those little things they threw out. Maybe my mind is always in the gutter, so that's the way I picked it up. But if I was a betting woman,
if your mind is in the gutter, mine is right there with you.
I thought they were both, and it was great to see them both putting out the same energy. Nobody's saying I'm in love with Cliff or I'm snuggling with Cliff, and he's saying he's not snuggling with her. He put it out there. Okay.
Right.
So surprisingly, number 2 is a surprise. Is Donovan has moved up because I thought he was kind of, but this episode he had on a hat, so it kind of because I feel like his head is so round, and he was cute. He is kind of swaggy. I never noticed his body before. I'm like, oh, I see why the ladies like Donovan. And I think Donovan had won cool points for me because he really is trying to get to know the women. It's unfortunately he came in late because he doesn't have very much time. But he seems like he's a lot of fun.
Let me ask you this about Donovan. The word on the street is he's only been out of a relationship 3 weeks.
Well, so that's one of the things that Sabrina picked up on, that he hasn't been out of a relationship long. So she's afraid that he might be a player, right? Well, decide. Do you want to play or do you not? Right. And if that's not your speed, you leave Donovan alone. But I feel like he's moved up the ladder
Well,
to me.
he's been divorced, and he's been in like a couple relationships since his divorce.
Yeah.
And he really hasn't had a whole lot of what she called healing time.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well, how long was he married though?
I don't know. I think he said something like 10, 11 years, something like that.
Oh, okay. If it's a long time, then he needs more time though. He gonna play the field for a minute. That's my theory.
Right.
Because when you get out, if you've been married 10 years or any considerable amount of time, you've learned how to be a husband, you learn how to be, pleasing this one person. And when you get divorced, you need to figure out you. And, getting out there is a good way to figure out what you like. Because for all these years, you've been trying to please this one person. And so I could see that being a, red flag for Sabrina.
I was gonna say, do you see that as a red flag? But you said
no. I would.
Right.
Like in real life, I would be like, you ain't really ready, but we could date, right? I could date you for a long time till you ready, but don't commit to me this early because you're gonna mess it up. That's how I would probably feel. Oh. I do though think he's a good match for Carmen.
Donovan?
Yes. I never saw it before until today. I think that he would be a good match for her because she's so sexy. She's so sex pottish, and the way he's just sitting there talking to her, rubbing her leg, and I mean, Joy had her leg on his lap too, but it was like cousin, right? It wasn't that kind of. Well, I'm talking to my connection right now. Like he is stating what his intentions are. Whether he's telling everybody that, you never know. But I think for Carmen, she needs a man that's going to be forward with her. And I think of the men that are left, he's the next best thing. Nobody else, because Paul isn't that forward. We already know Demetrius ain't that forward. And so that's pretty much that. So Donovan moved up. This is going to be exciting.
Interesting. Yeah.
Exciting.
I'm on the edge of my seat.
So Paul, that's been one of my boos too since the beginning. He's number 3 for me, but I think him and Dakia make sense. I don't know why I didn't see it before. She needs to stop.
Dakia?
Clifton is not her speed. Paul. So Paul is slower than her, but I could see her bringing some spark and excitement to Paul. And I think maturity level wise, they are matched. I think when I saw them date on the last episode that we talked about, I was like, yes, that's who she should be trying to date. She should leave Clifton alone. Paul is, wow. But they waited too long to get together. And I think they need more time. So.
Interesting.
And Carmen is not. I just think she too, Carmen thinks so much of herself that it's almost nasty how much she thinks of herself. And so I so then,
I don't know then we go by that, but
I know you don't. So then there's Demetrius, who he's been at the bottom. I can't stand him, still can't stand him. But Tori is the one that I don't think should have left 3 episodes ago because he been misbehaving. But let me get to Demetrius. I'm so glad Sabrina sees what I've been saying the whole time. Dude is not pursuing you. He's so laid back. If you're a woman that needs a man to be definitive about you, that is not your guy. And he ain't gonna change. And so if she wants to be with him, she is going to have to learn to chase him because that's what he's about.
She called him too cool for school.
He is.
He'd be too cool for school. I need to see something.
And I've been saying that she's nicer than me. I've been saying it because I think it's true. I think women, especially women who aren't super thirsty, are not chasing a man. They need to know you want me. You picked me. And if men can't figure their way to do that, you will miss out. And she'll miss out too. But that's just, I know y'all got it like that, and there's more women than men. So you can sit back and lay in the cut and wait till one sit on your lap, right? Or fight to sit on your lap. But that's not the way it should be because you're setting a precedence for the relationship, to me.
Yeah, Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you.
So the number 5 is Tori. Tori, I've been sick of Tori since they
What?
voted off her because Tori shouldn't be there, right? Tori has not recovered from the kiss on Truth or Dare. And one thing I didn't really notice, they show Sabrina kissing Demetrius' ear, but then there's another one where Demetrius kisses her back on the lips. So this is a real thing, and this dude has not recovered, and he should have self-eliminated. Then I
He
thought,
should have been working on more connections. I mean,
but he couldn't get himself together. He couldn't because he was just like,
just so in love with Sabrina.
yeah, he could not pivot. He wasted weeks and weeks on this one. And then I really thought it was a bitch move to have a conversation with Demetrius.
Wow,
Like,
strong words.
I did. I just thought you going out like a bitch. Like, I'm sorry, just self-eliminate yourself. Like you messed up. You can't recover from what you saw, and you didn't come after her anymore. You stopped talking to her, right? You don't even hardly call her. He admitted that. What you still doing on the show? So that was one thing I didn't like.
Yeah.
And then he was gonna cry when Sabrina was like, "Well, I just see us as friends. I don't see romantic." Like,
Yeah,
dude, I saw that a long time ago too. You've been missing, right?
yeah. I noticed that too, and him. He just ain't got it for Sabrina, and the worst thing that could have happened to dude is see Sabrina's. I get to. I ain't gonna go all the way in, but I see what you say about Tori. Um, like I said, he would have been better served to connect more with Precious while he had the chance. And it just, you can't force nothing. I get that.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, that was his last hope to really kind of stay relevant and stay on the show. If they could have kept each other alive, but it just didn't work, and it's not nobody's fault. His woman just ain't there. He just needs to come to terms with that and self-eliminate like a lot of other people have done, like Ace has done.
Because he tried to make it be Ace. Ace was like, let me tell you something. I wasn't finna do none of that. I could tell you like Sabrina, and I like Laverne. There's no point in us playing the game to keep each other on the show, essentially. So I'm going to leave.
Right.
Good luck to you. You my friend, homie. It's good. So,
yeah.
So that, and I want Dakia to move on, because if she talk about Clifton one more time, I just want her to stop. Like, accept what is. Anyway, so those are my rankings.
All righty. Now, as I stated earlier, I have been moving, so I don't have none in my notes. I don't have any of that. It's going off the top of the dome. For a census, I'm gonna have Tamara help me out, but I'm going to start off with Dakia. Okay. Now, Dakia, yeah, some will say that she needs to learn how to read some cues, and I agree. She do need to learn how to read some cues, because Clifton and Joy, they couldn't make it more clearer that they booed up.
Mm-hmm.
And she had a chance to get in the claim that bed that with Cliff, but she didn't do that. She went and looked for her. Now, she take me as a woman who play by the rules and stuff like that, so she was so she was fine in her own bed, but Joy threw in a cheat code, and she went into bed with Cliff, and then Dakia all of a sudden got upset about it. Well, she used the cheat code on you. So Dakia takes me as a woman that expects everything to go her way. She expects everything, and when things don't line up the way that she likes them, she has all kind of problems with them. And she said she was only connected with Cliff. That wasn't.
He was connected
true.
With Eric, right?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. She was connected with Eric, and she pretty much eliminated him. So don't sit up here and try to hit your wagon to Cliff at like y'all were down since day one. I mean, cut it out.
Right.
Really cut it out. Because everybody's seen that Cliff was connected to Joy day one. He wasn't connected to you. Now, y'all may have had some conversations, but he was your number 2 draft pick at the best.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you were pretty much flirting with a whole bunch of guys trying to get in where you fit in. Even with what's his name? Tall guy. What's his name? Paul. You was even trying to get in with Paul. So now that you see Cliff, now that the a lot of the men are coming off the show and everything. I mean, look, like I said, she takes me as a woman who needs everything to go her way. If it doesn't go her way, she pitches a fit, and that's very unattractive.
So here's the thing with the situation, sis. I feel for her because sometimes you meet a man.
Here we go with the
I'm telling you, sometimes I agree with you.
You be so biased with your.
I'm gonna say this. This is advice to all women and men. Sometimes you run across a person, you like them, y'all vibe. But if a person isn't consistent with you, there's a reason. And it's usually not you. It's usually they are already connected to somebody else. And what you got to be smart enough to do is back off. Give them the same energy they're giving you. Or leave it alone. And 95% of the time, and I've been in this situation a couple of times. I'm like, you know what? Something about this guy, he ain't really into me. I'm not getting ready to pick up that wagon and say something wrong with me. So there's no tears. This ain't the right time. 95% of the time he circled back and it was because something else was going on. Somebody else was going on. So for Dakia, as smart as she is, she's got to be able to read that. Because that happens to all of us. All of us are, even us single people. I'm single, but I got a situation, right? And no matter who the new guy is I meet, I may or may not be super into you because my situation is a little bit more established, probably a higher ROI out of it. And so you might not get full benefit to marry. You might get, oh, you're so sweet. Okay, I return your flirts, but nothing, right? And so I think that Dakia, I'm trying to say this, but this is for everyone. We have to learn to cut it off, cut ourselves and run. And if the other person circles back and gives you an explanation, maybe there's a chance. But
she don't have no problem with cutting off. She cut off Eric real smooth.
Well, what was she? But that's why I don't know why she acted so sad about Cliff. Like in the next episode, she was like, she was livid when they came out in their pajamas. Like you just saw her like seething. I'm like, lady, come on.
Yeah.
This is you know good dang going, well, he ain't into you as much as he into this woman. He ain't talk to you about her pajamas.
If it doesn't go her way, she pitches a fit. She's
embarrassed and her feelings are hurt, Mike.
Why?
That happens to the best of us.
Why?
Because
she knows Cliff was rocking with Joy day one.
She knows that, but she thought
she had surpassed Joy. Why?
No, I don't. Well, you know what she said? She said, I know their connection is strong, but I still think he's deciding. I think he's torn. Now, I don't believe he's torn, but you can believe whatever you want. I just think Cliff's a cool dude and he ain't gonna be no asshole.
Right. Like ever since he fed her some oysters.
Yeah.
She think that was everything. And I'm like, look, yeah, he did. Look, look, I'll put it this way with Cliff, and some people, especially some women, will say they don't like the fact that Cliff is not making it clear to the ladies. They almost feel like Dakia is being led on. Do you think that?
I don't. But I understand why women think that, because so this is the stuff I know. Black men are conflict averse. If it takes you to tell me, Tamara, you are one amazing woman, I'm really into this other woman, let's just be friends. You are not going to tell me that. You're going to sprinkle some phone calls, some text messages, just to not upset me, because you do see value in me, right? But your attention is elsewhere. I just think that Black men need coaching on being able to know I'm going to hurt her feelings, But if I don't do this now, it's going to be worse later. Now that's how we end up acting a fool, Black women.
Yeah,
Because
those are bars you're dropping. Let me agree with you on this because there are a lot of women out there who think that, or they just don't understand men, and they think that. I've heard some women say, "Oh, the men don't know how to communicate on this show. They all suck at communication." Now, you being pretty seasoned as you are, you understand how men move and how they communicate and some of their hesitations. Let's
right.
face it. Let's face it. Women, especially my sisters, they do not take rejection well.
Well, who does?
Have you seen Zadia?
But
Okay.
nobody does, though, right?
Nobody does, but sisters don't react in a way that is sad. They react in a way that is angry. Okay.
Well, that's the way we cover up the sad.
Huh?
That's the way we cover up the sad, right?
That's why you cover up the sad. But that's why the Black men are not, so quick to, do that, because a lot of the sisters do take it very personally, and they react in anger a lot of times instead of. I'm not saying all, so don't I'm not brushing the brush. I'm just saying that a lot of times the sisters will react in a way that's just in an angry way, and that's why if you see any kind of hesitation or lack of communication from the brothers, a lot of times that's why. If we feel like you can handle it, we can be more transparent. Now, okay, go ahead, say what you was gonna
say. I just was gonna say that y'all do take too long to tell the truth that is there. Now, I will take the responsibility that we don't respond well, but you got to know, if you being a stand-up guy, you're going to try to manage this interface the best you can, and you said your piece, right? And you just have to be okay with, this lady hates my guts.
Right.
My guts, that's just how it's going to be. But you still owe her the truth in a gentle, respectful way, the same way that I tell everybody every week. But y'all,
us brothers, we do got to get better at that. We got to get better at communicating and just telling it how it is. Here's my thing with Cliff, though. I actually think he wants both of them. I think he do like the classiness and the refinedness of Dakia, but I do think he likes the playfulness and the physical part of Joy. If I went up to Cliff, he would be like, "Yeah, let's do the poly."
Well, that's what I was gonna say. I think Cliff wants to sleep with Dakia. Not that just.
He's physically attracted to her.
Interactions are all attraction, not much depth there, and so of course he's not going to tell her the truth, because he's like, if it's a possibility I get to smash, I might just keep. The comment about 69, right? He had to go there, right? It's already
right. Yeah, he got the physical for Dakia. He got the mental with Joy, but the mental is winning right now. It just is what it is. The chemistry is pretty undeniable, but that don't mean the physical ain't there. So when I hear some women say, "Oh, well, he just playing here and just stringing her along and stuff like that," not really. He is really torn. He really is torn, but when you got that chemistry with Joy, it's undeniable. So that's why he's leaning that way. It's just undeniable. So, and
I'm sure I think it's also easier and natural. Doesn't mean that him and Dakia wouldn't work. I just think it's not as it's aside from the sex part, because I still say that if Dakia offered it up, he would take it. Have some, if he could get away with it, right? If Joy could never find out, I think he would. But she's a long shot.
I really don't think that him and Dakia is a good match. I think it will end up fizzling out, because I think Cliff gonna do something wrong to piss her off, and then she's gonna be done with him. I think he's just like she is with everybody.
Yeah, I think she more like he called her corporate. I think she is corporate. She do have a little bit of bad girl sex pot in her, but it ain't 24/7.
It ain't
She,
24/7. And so let me get to Joy. I think that Joy is uh first of all, Joy really ain't checking for nobody else right now. None. Just
has she ever?
I think she genuinely tried before. I think she was open before, but like I said, maybe a couple episodes ago, she is fatigued from the whole process at this point. So she just knows who she likes, and at this point, I mean, let's keep it hot, right? They smash.
Yeah.
They smash. So when she went that far with it, it was cemented. Now, I think they smashed even before this episode.
Oh, me too. That's why
I think once she became fatigued with the system is when they smashed. Once she was like, I'm done with the process, they smashed at that point.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. I'm not there. I'm not in their room.
Yeah, I do, but I don't think if something happened during that trip, that wasn't the first time.
That wasn't the first time.
Being on the bed, him saying he know what it smelled like. She don't need to do anything physically.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, that was even before this episode. So yeah. Yeah. So once she became so-called fatigued with the process, they smashed at that point because she gave herself to him, and now he's the only one that she's going to be interested in. So shout out to Joy, shout out to Cliff. I'm actually rooting for y'all.
That's what you want to happen on the show, though, right?
Y'all deserve each other. Y'all want it. Y'all found each other. Y'all seem happy. Coming out in onesies. Okay, you're pissing everybody else off.
I know.
Because you're looking so cute in your onesies, and you're doing your little dances and shit, and you're doing your dances above the sheets and below the sheets. Let's just put it that way.
Well, when he was walking, where you saw him with his towel on, then he had her sweater on. Like, it's just certain things it don't take much. You'd be like, y'all been naked, right?
Right. Yeah, they've been naked before.
Familiar,
and right? The thing is, if not for nothing, I think it's a little bit of jealousy from some of the other members that, they want to find someone, a connection like that. You know what I mean? And I totally get it. Dakia being one of them. I think that's what brought her to tears, is because she wants that, and it makes sense. But, look, Dakia, Cliff ain't your guy. I don't know if your guy is on the show. I actually think that you probably need some self-checking and how you are processing information to the point where you are always wanting things your way and not very forgiving. You're not going to last, in my opinion, that way. I mean, who am I though? I don't know, but I'm just saying from my point of view and my perspective, I think a little more self-work should be done. Like maybe you should be in therapy also. But you're a wonderful woman, and I think that your guy is just not on the show. That's all. As far as Joy, I wish you nothing but the best. Get your man, go get him, do what you got to do, and congratulations to both of y'all. I think it's a dope combination. I'm rooting for both of y'all. Let me go to Ace.
Ace gone?
Yeah, she self-eliminated. What, last episode or this? Well, we didn't get to cover last episode, so let me just go over that. Ace, she just fake to me. She just fake.
So you don't think her and Laverne had a real connection?
I don't think Laverne had no real connection, because if she did, she would have fought for him. She didn't even fight for him. She didn't do none of that. She didn't. She let Vern go. She didn't. Even when they were there, she wasn't like really checking for, or it was almost. It didn't seem real. Like you said, you didn't even believe there was a real connection between her and Laverne. Didn't you say that?
I didn't. Yeah, I didn't believe that. I didn't think that she might have been a good match for him. I just didn't believe it. Maybe because I didn't see it. They didn't
Right.
show it.
Right. Now I've done a little bit of background research. Found out Ace don't have a social media. She don't you can't contact her. She's very private. Um who is this woman? For real. Who is this woman? I think she's a mole. She's hard to uh you know she's hard she doesn't really have a social media life. Now I'm not saying social media is everything, but um all of the things that was worrying me about her seems to be coming true.
Mm.
Now here's a spin on Ace. She actually hooked up with another cast member from another season.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Hooked up like what? They dating?
like they dating.
Okay.
You remember Tyrone? Military dude, bald head brother.
Oh yeah, the one that seemed a little.
Yeah, the sketchy eyes, or the the guy who, yeah, she's dating Tyrone. That's the, well, she did admit that, so it's not necessarily a rumor. She did
Okay.
admit that, so they are dating right now, and it's looking promising. So
Okay. That's probably a better energy for her because she seemed a little. I don't know. I mean, she seemed patient, but I didn't think her and Laverne were a good match. So
yeah,
that makes
I didn't either. I I don't I don't know who would match up with Laverne.
me.
You wouldn't even last either. Stop it. But but I don't even know. Like I hope this works out with her and Tyrone, but just Ace, just I don't know. It got to a point where it was kind of getting annoying to me because she's so private and you can't really you don't really know the real person, and then her ex comes on and calls her an alpha, and then she's
Now
with
we all confused.
it's just I don't know this woman, so I just I just leave it at that and move on. Um, who else was there? Again, I'm going off memory. Let's talk
uh,
about let's talk about Christina. Christina didn't show up. And now I did some background on her too, and it turns out she was actually on set, but they didn't let her get on the show.
why?
Christina checked out week 1.
Yeah.
She doesn't seem to be interested in none of the guys.
Okay.
Now, to me, I can kind of see that. She said she had the one date with Paul, but that was over with. She's just not connecting. Now, she says that it wasn't worth her time. Apparently, she's very busy running her business, and she needed to do that. I I just take her as a woman who wants everything to come to her, and I take her as a woman that just don't wasn't really. I can't really say she wasn't genuine, because if she's not interested in the guys, that's being genuine.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, why did you even come on the show then?
Right.
You were a waste of a cast member, because you checked out week 1. Like, I would have rather another woman came on the show, somebody who's really ready to love, not just somebody who's trying to build up their Instagram or whatever the case may be.
Mm.
And I felt like that kind of is Christina. She just, I'm not necessarily blaming her for not being interested in none of the guys, but I didn't even really see much of an effort from her to try to
So
even
if she was on the set,
know some of the guys.
why would they let her not be on camera?
I think it was probably more of a disciplinary action where they just kept her upstairs or whatever, because they said she was on the set. They just didn't let her on the show because they probably try to reach out to her. I've seen Donovan reach out to her, call her, no answer. So she was just playing games, and she was just so they was like, you ain't gonna appear in this episode. We got our storyline. You ain't gonna appear in this episode. We'll let you in the cabin, but it's gonna be next week or something like that. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I'm getting very disappointed with Dakia, with Christina, with Ace. I'm just these women. I don't know. Again, you know, they only got a certain amount of guys to choose from, but I just wonder how authentic and real and how ready to love a lot of the women are. And I'm sure some of the women could say the same thing about the men.
Mm-hmm.
But me as a guy, I'm saying that about the women. You know?
Okay.
So, who else is left?
You got Carmen, and then you have Sabrina.
Okay, let me go to Carmen. Carmen, this chick is she's very aggressive towards the women. She's a ladies a guy's girl. You know, she is a guy's girl all day, every day. As a guy, I love that. You know, I love guy girls. Y'all my favorite. I actually think you're one of those ladies too.
I am.
Yeah. So, I mean, I just think that they're the best for men, because the girls, I guess you could call them, they click up and they seem to be against men, and they just talk greasy about men. But guy girls are just the best, and that's what Carmen is, and that's why I would I would look into something with Carmen, and I would consider her a candidate. But I'm not sure who she's really connecting with. It looks like she's connecting with Paul or Donovan. The only thing is, I'm not sure who's her connection, Paul and Donovan. And
those are the two. Yeah, I feel like Paul is disconnecting because they had the date, and his best friend was like, I think depends on kind of man you want to be, because Carmen is gonna be, you'll be one kind of guy. If you want to be a little bit better, Dakia is a better choice for you, and I think he's internalizing that.
Yeah. One thing I don't want Carmen to start doing is just looking like she's just trying to get to the end. You know what I mean?
Looking a little thirsty with it. Yeah.
Yeah, just finding a guy just to find a guy, and any guy will do that's showing her half attention, And it's starting to look that way. I need her to be more definitive with who she likes. Just definitively, pick a guy that you want to pursue this with, and don't be so up in the air. Now, I know she was one of the later cast members, but she's been there long enough to really know these guys and who she liked by now. Just like Joy, I mean, ain't no question with Joy, right? But Carmen, though, I can say that it's probably either Donovan or Paul, but I just need her to be more definitive. Don't just be out here in the streets like just connecting to anybody. You know what I mean? That's the only issue I got with Carmen, is that she could really flip it on you, and you cannot know where her real head is, because she's not being clear.
I don't think her guy is on the show. However, I think she knows men well enough to behave well enough to end up at the end with somebody. Mm-hmm. Because now Donovan is probably the reason why I said I thought they might be a kind of a okay match. Her and Paul I don't see, because Paul is not, he was eating his salad, she talking and he's eating his salad. Like he ain't into her, not at all. I think he really is more curious about Dakia, to be honest, but it still might just be too late. And he might be tired too. I kind of got the feeling that he's like, man,
Who,
none of this,
Donovan or Paul?
no, Paul, none of this is working out the way I thought it was going to work out.
Yeah. You know, the men are not the only ones that, you know, are not clear communicators. Only woman I would probably, well, two women I would say are pretty good clear communicators is Joy and Sabrina. I mean, you know where you stand with both of these women. Not so much the rest of them though. But yeah, so I just want Carmen to be more decisive in her, and don't start to look like you're just trying to get to the end of the show. You know, pick your guy, make a genuine connection, because I don't find none of them genuine as of right now. Just my opinion. So Sabrina got 99 problems, but a dude ain't one. Okay. And, she got a lot of guys trying to get at her, from Tori to Dimitri to Donovan, you know. And you know, I get it. I don't blame her for, and I actually respect her more for letting Tori know what the deal is. Because he needed to know, he needed that emotional release, because he's just too, he's reaching for something, and you know, she just like, look, you know, if he's hanging on the cliff, she just peeling his fingers off the cliff. Go ahead, fall on off, bruh, you know, and you're not running anymore.
This crazy is like he's holding on to the connection, but he wasn't doing nothing to cultivate it. He was blocked.
Let him tell it. He was trying to give her the space that she requested. She needed some space and to figure some things out. But he also acknowledged that could have been his undoing too. Yeah, it could have been the wrong way to do it.
I thought he was kind of mean to her. In a couple of instances, I thought he was still mad. Like, I honestly just think he was mad, and he couldn't get.
I think he was nice. I think he was okay to her and nice to her, but he's just not in her. I don't want to say league, because that's just
that's not nice.
Yeah, that's not nice. He's not mature. He's not in the same maturity class, if that makes any sense.
That sounds
better.
Bad, but
it's just maturity class.
Okay.
Sabrina, he seems like he's, you know, from the hood, in the hood. She seems suburban a little bit. So they just in two different mental classes, not financial, just mental. And that that's why they're not connecting. Now, sometimes the suburban girl will go for the hood guy. And for a while, she was connected to him in that kind of way. But, you know, rethinking everything, she want to stay in her class. So she's more connected to what she called, I'm down with the D's. That's what she said, down with the D. Okay. So, and that's what Dimitri and Donovan gives her. And she feel more home, feel more comfortable with Donovan. She's even letting up on Dimitri a little bit, which is to your enjoyment, I know. But
but you know what? I think she gonna end up with him because she liked the way he looked. He's her physical type.
Yes, he's her physical type. She's the chocolate. Shout out to Sabrina for the chocolate brothers. Can I say?
I'm sorry, but if you see your filter, you don't look chocolate on this. You look lighter than me.
I know. But I know, right? I don't know what it is. It's the lighting probably, but I'm sexual chocolate. That's what I am. But at the same time, I think that she's going to end up choosing. Well, she had a concern about Donovan too, because she was concerned that he was in a relationship only 3 weeks ago. So she got a little bit of concern from both of the brothers. And so it's going to be interesting to see who she picked, but I think she did narrow it down to them too. I think she's going to end up choosing Dimitri.
Me too.
Yeah.
I just think she's just going to go
type. He's the physical type, and he is who she was checking for since day one.
That's right.
So I think she's gonna end up choosing him, and if she do, I'll be happy for them, and I hope it all works out. So I don't really have no issue with Sabrina on how she been moving. She has had some guys interested in her, and and I think she let those guys know in time. Well, for the most part, in time, when they were not part of the process, so to speak. She let Paul know, was like, I just see you as a friend. She
Mhm.
let Tori know. She had to rethink Tori. And now I think she's gonna let either Donovan or Dimitri. I think it's gonna be Donovan. She's gonna let him know. But yeah, I don't really have no issues with how she has been moving. I'm more concerned about her personality as a whole, as far as her personality type. I think she come across a little bossy, a little entitled, a little spoiled. Um, but I think you could still have a good relationship with her if she's one of them women who has to look up to you and really respect you, and then you can have a good relationship with her. But if she thinks she's better than you, it's gonna be horrible. It's just gonna be horrible. So that's probably with every woman, but especially with Sabrina. She has to really respect who you are, look up to you, and then I think she'll probably be on her best behavior. But if she don't, she's just gonna ruin it by a lot of different ways. So
Yeah, I think they're gonna be together for a little bit, but not long term. Because her, I don't know if I get that she's bossy, but I think the fact that he wants,
a submissive woman.
yeah, the fact that he wants that's gonna play itself out, and it's not gonna work out that well for them unless he is amazing in bed. That's the wild card. If that's on point, she'll put up with it.
Right, right.
I say
So
that many of us will put up with that.
yeah, it's just weird to me how women just think that's such a bad word, submission. That's
It's got to
unfortunate.
be the way you. It's got to be the way you use it. But I know a guy, and I like his philosophy. I never heard his philosophy before, which is um, none of us know all things, and so it takes a wise man to know what his wife leads in, what his woman leads in, and that's what he should be submissive in those cases. I never heard a man say that. I like that
Mm.
because you got to be able to, you got to be smarter than me to lead me. You can't, the way I'm gonna blindly follow you and you make poor decisions, I'm gonna have a problem with it. So if you are humble enough to recognize, I don't know all things, baby, what do you think? Okay, what do you think we should do? That's collaborative. But there's men who don't like the word partners. They don't like equals. They're like, nope, there is one head, and there's a point where I'm gonna be the tiebreaker, and your word is not gonna matter. That's harsh. That I can't swallow
Mm.
because that's a blanket. Thou shall not. I'm the head. That's, I get it, but there's some stuff you ain't gonna be good at, and can you be open to the fact that I might have a call that might be good for us? That's just my only point.
Yeah, but like I said, well, whoever this philosopher guy is you're talking about, my opinion about it is, if he's a wise leader, see, this is where the women will be vetting the guy, because if the guy knows where his weaknesses are, he's
Mm-hmm.
not going to have a problem with you coming in and putting your touch on it. The part of a leader is someone who serves. Okay, let's get that out there. A leader is someone who serves. He serves the people. He serves all the people that are following him. It's his duty to um, give them good advice, or lead them in a certain direction, and not be a tyrant as a
Mm-hmm.
leader, but be a leader who listens. Okay, there are a lot of CEOs. I heard one of the CEOs, I forgot which one it was, but he said you know, the best leaders are the ones who listens to his employees. The company runs better that way. It's the tyrants that their company, their stock falls. They don't want to change technology. They don't see the new things coming, and they don't do nothing about it. Like, you know, a Blockbuster or something like that. They get tied into their ideology, and they don't want to change. Well, then come Netflix, and then you out of business, bro, because you don't want to change.
That's fair.
So that's when the women got to vet the men, and as far as their leading skills. But at the same time, that doesn't mean he's not the leader. It just means that he listens to his, I don't want to say employees, you know what I'm saying, in relationships. I'm saying he listens to his wife. He listens to his family.
That's right.
But yeah, but that don't mean he's not the leader. It's just, you know, it's just how it is. And a smart women, especially a lot of the older women, they be like, yeah, I'll let him think he leading, but I'm leading. You know, that's how the women of the old days used to do it. They was like, yeah, I'll let him be the leader. I'll let him even call himself the leader, but we all know what it is, you know. Am I going? Can you hear me?
I can't hear you.
Okay. So,
I heard that said that I can't get with. It's okay. Yeah. I was thinking about that. Like it hasn't changed. You know, men think they lead and they're not really. The woman runs the house. I mean, and that's just really how it's always been. I think what's different in this new generation of women.
Modern women. Let's call them modern women.
Modern women want a say. They want a say, and
you can have a say.
They want to say. They want.
A leader is going to let you have a say,
and they want to feel like they've been heard. Not just I'm listening to you, but I'm going to do what I'm going to do.
You can still be heard. It's the same thing. They want to say they're going to be heard. You can still have all of that. They just have a problem with the word submission. It's like
I don't, but I have a problem with the way y'all use it.
It's funny because a lot of
use it the right way. I think you use it as a stick. You use it as
me as a man, I don't use it as a stick. I don't abuse the position. Okay, I have a responsibility, but it's funny because women go to work and they submit all the time.
Everybody submits.
Okay, so what is the problem when
why you gotta say you need a submissive woman when you should be a submissive man too? That's how I feel. Like we have to. We all gotta. Somebody is leading all of us.
Okay, well, let me say it this way. And I you know, you might not like it, but let me say it anyway. Everybody hold your seat. Okay. Men, unlike Will Smith, men think logically and they keep their cool. A lot of times women run their decisions through their emotions. So it can be, I'm not talking about you, okay?
I know you're not.
Okay, good. But what I'm saying, because I know a lot of times you're a very logical woman. But what I'm saying is women that don't think like you, they do think with their emotions. And let's keep it a buck. We've seen some of this even on RTL. I'm seeing a lot of that with Dakia. I've seen a lot of that with, last season Zadia, and a lot of things go through their emotions. So just by default, and just how nature designed us, men tend to run things through the logic. Now, I'm not saying that we're smarter and we have all the knowledge and all of that. I'm not saying that. Because I see you. I can see. Yeah. Because why? Because of emotions. You see?
I'm about to tell you something.
Go ahead.
Okay, you're right. Women are more emotional. We were made that way because it's a time and place for it. However, I think men, y'all make decisions out of your ego, which is still an emotion. It's still connected to your chip on your shoulder, your emotion, your pride, all of it. Still under the emotion umbrella. I see more of that.
Much less so. I mean, through ego. I mean, ego is not. I mean, you can say it's an emotion. Well, is it? It's not really an emotion though.
It's tied up in your emotions. What offends you, where you need to be, what you need to say, how people need to see you. That's emotion stuff. That's not logical.
Yeah, yeah, okay, and I get that, and like I said, I hate to be beating up on Will Smith, but yeah, he let his ego get the best of him in that situation. But cooler heads, and if you look around, if you look on social media, a lot of the men are like, dude, you lost it. You know what I mean? Now,
Yeah.
if you take a survey from the women, a lot of them are going to feel like he did the right thing. Why? Because it's emotional based. It's not logic based.
I don't know if I can say that. I'd have to go Google the word ego, right, to make sure I was connecting it. Because to me, because I got an ego, right? I'm a smart girl. The only thing I don't like people to do is try to get over on me. That's the Gary in me. Right. Not gonna try to get over on me and treat me like I'm dumb. That's a problem. Right. But that's my ego. I know it because it's in the pit of my stomach. It makes me edgy. I'm getting ready to lose it, right? Because
it's an emotional thing. I know.
That's why I said men are emotional too. You can call it what you want, but it's
saying men are not emotional. Yeah, men are emotional, but less so. So a lot of the decision.
I don't agree with that, and I think that's the mentality that has.
Why do you disagree with that?
I disagree with that because you are not allowing space for men to be emotional. We all got emotions. There is stuff that bothers us.
Tamara.
Hold on, let me finish my point.
This is a layup. This is a layup. Women are more emotional than men. It's a layup. Okay.
I'm not done talking. I want to say that men, the problem with men is y'all so busy suppressing your emotions. Y'all act crazy. Y'all make poor decisions. Y'all make emotional decisions. Y'all make bad
financial exception. That's not the rule. That's the exception.
I think I don't know. I think the problem with our society is we keep putting women in this bucket, men in this bucket, where all of us got emotions, all of us got hurt feelings, all of us got shit we got to deal with.
Of course, we all got emotions, and of course, I'm not talking. I'm not saying we don't have emotions. I'm saying we think more logically, and women think more emotionally. I mean, it's a law of nature. It's not my rule. I didn't write the rules. I didn't come up with the laws of nature. There was like that before I was born. There will be that way when I'm gone, and when all of us are gone. Okay, it just is what it is. I mean, even you look in the other animal kingdoms, there's a difference between how the males and the females react and act in certain things. It's not nothing to really get defensive about. You don't have
I just want to offer this.
Okay, because you seem to be going through your emotions with this whole thing.
I'm just saying I want you to save some open space though for men to be connected to their emotions. Because in my experience, the men that lose me are the men who can't be transparent about their feelings and what's going on with them. I need a honest connection with you. I don't need you acting hard. I don't need you being logical when really what's going on with you is you jealous or you mad you didn't get promoted. I need you to be able to use your words and connect. Let me move this thing. Use your words and connect so I can understand what's happening with you. So to me, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm saying, but continuing to beat that drum is why men don't articulate what's going on with them and to help bridge the gap between Black men and Black women. That's my soapbox. If I was a therapist, that's what I would write books about.
Okay.
So I'm not disputing you. I'm just saying, if we keep putting people in these buckets and don't allow for the space.
I'm not making the case that men are not emotional enough or should be more emotional. I'm not making that case. You're making it sound like, oh, well, I need men to come out and be more emotional and stuff like that.
I need them to be able to express their feelings.
I know, but that wasn't really my point. My point was, generally, women are more emotional than men.
And men,
that was my general point. Now, should they become more, in tune with their emotions and feelings? That's a different topic, but.
And I told you I didn't disagree. I just said I would like us to move beyond putting people in buckets, so it
But
allows
we
some room
are
for
in
a
buckets
man to
though.
be able
Whether we
to.
like it or not, we are in buckets. Men are
I'm
in
not
one bucket, women are in another bucket. It just is
in
what it
some ways, but
is.
in other ways, you got to get to know the person. You got to stop generalizing and putting people
What
in
is it with the
boxes.
generalizing?
That's what you
There
do.
is nothing
Men
wrong with
live in
generalizing.
That's not the case though. And there's nuance to all of this. Some men are more.
I didn't say there wasn't. I'm not saying that everybody is, you know, but look, I see the world through a man's eyes. You see the
Through
world
your
through a
eyes.
woman's. No, through a man's eyes. You see
But you can
through
only
a woman's eyes.
speak for every man on the planet. You can only speak for, I would never speak for all women. I speak through my eyes. And I'm a
I know that, but in general, we see things differently. In general, I'm not saying we're not individuals. Okay, we're not robots. We're not the Borg or anything like that. What I'm saying is this: yes, we're all individuals, but generally, with the world, we see things differently. Men see things differently than women. We all looked at the same situation, Will slapping Chris Rock, and we all seen it in different ways. Men seen it different
So
than
why
women
make that
seen it.
but and I as a woman see it different than the women you've been talking to. So
I
how do
get
you
that. I didn't say there wasn't no no differences, but I'm saying in general. And
that's a
when I
general
say general, I'm saying over 50%.
I'm
I'm not
saying
saying 100%. I'm saying over 50%. Go ahead.
I'm just saying I would like us to stop doing that to each other.
Why? What's wrong with using generalizations?
I think with you, like me and you are friends, but you
Yes.
burn me up when you come across with these people are like this, women are like this, men are like this. Open up your mind that people can be all places on the spectrum. And what you got to be looking for, if you're looking for love, or maybe you've already found it, is that you need to find a spectrum of person that fits you. And it might not be all woman. It might not be, it might be somebody who fits somewhere on the spectrum. That's what I am advocating for. So it really is off-putting to me when you're like, men do this, women do this. No,
There is
let
nothing
us be
wrong with generalizations.
fair.
It's just
That's why people have biases, and that's part of our problem, right? That's how people quick to judge because you don't put somebody in a box and you don't even know
no.
them.
I just know that people view things differently. Men view things differently than women, and you know, it's a reality that we really just need to embrace because it's not going to change. I know a lot of women who don't see things. They they don't even really understand men, let alone see things the way men see things. And the same thing with men. They don't understand women and don't see things the way that women see things. Like I said, we can look at the same situation and come up with different conclusions. It's not I didn't make this up. I just acknowledge what's natural, what nature made us, how different they made us. But if we understand our differences and how we view things, we could come together, and that's where I'm at with it. I'm not trying to put everybody in a box and then the same box and pretend that we all see things the same. We don't. We see them differently, and now that we understand our differences, let's come together with that, and that way we can come to a reason, and we can come to some sort of agreements and communication. Because if we keep sitting here pretending that things are the same, we're never going to really get to the bottom of it. But I'm off my soapbox, and that's all I got to say about it. Have any last words, Tamara?
I do not.
All
I do
right,
not.
all right. I would like to say Black engineers matter.
There's only 5 of us. Ain't that many of us in the world? So we got to
all,
matter.
all right, yeah. And thanks for joining us on this episode of RTL. Hit the like, share, and subscribe. And we will check y'all out in the next one. Peace.
All right.